You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this. In fact, I know it from experience. That when you go to a Smackdown taping, usually you see things before they're officially aired that Friday night or even that Thursday night. I remember I went to Smackdown a few times. In fact, I went to one Smackdown house show, then I went to a Smackdown taping in Kansas City. So I know what Smackdown is like, live, I do. But the one thing we always do notice is that Smackdown always, well, not notice, but every time something happens on Smackdown, through the internet, we end up getting spoiled by finding out what could have been done on SmackDown or what happened on SmackDown that will have maybe a major impact on how the WWE is viewed. Well, surprise, surprise, last night's SmackDown tapings are no exception. Last night, SmackDown, of course, during their tapings, had Triple H come out and announce a added stipulation. Now, we know that the stipulation for the Authority is if they lose at Survivor Series, they will no longer be in power. So, how do you counter that? You counter it by having Triple H, the COO, if you will, announce that if Team Cena loses, they will be all fired on the spot. Or at least they will be fired effective immediately. Or probably the next night on Raw. So, with this announcement that Triple H makes, that if Team Cena loses, they will be fired, this once again poses the question of what direction will WWE go in? And obviously now a lot of people are pointing towards the John Cena side, which would make logical sense. You've got John Cena, who's being built up and pushed for his rematch with Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Title. You got Ryback back, if you will, and having him being rebuilt and repushed as the monster he once was. You know, you have that. You have Big Show, who is on the team because of his situation with Mark Henry. You have Dolph Ziggler, who's on there because of his problems with the Authority and the fact that he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Luke Harper. And then speaking of Luke Harper, you have Eric Rowan. Now, Eric Rowan is the more questionable one because people are not sure why he's even on the team, or why he's doing this, or why WWE decided to go in this direction. Now, again though, after last night's announcement at the SmackDown tapings, again, a lot of people are pointing in the direction of John Cena. But we all know WWE likes to swerve us. So pretty much you would assume that in a swerve, they might go the Authority route. Now already, people have already speculated that if they go to the Authority route, that nobody's going to get fired because that'll just be the fuel to the fire. That'll be the foundation to build the Vince McMahon Authority feud going into WrestleMania. There's that people pretty much feel that if WWE goes in the direction and swerves us and says, okay, Authority, you're going over, then fine. You know, there's something there. But again, this is basically where I talked about in a video, where I asked the question what direction WWE would go in. Because pretty much WWE has put themselves against the wall. I mean, on one side, like I mentioned in my predictions and booking videos, on one side, the Authority side, you have Seth Rollins, you have Kane, you have Mark Henry, you have Rusev, and you got Harper. Now, pretty much you have three future main eventers on one side, and then on the other side, you have Cena, you have Ryback, you have Ziggler, you have Big Show, and you have Rowan. And just like there, you have 3 future main eventers. You have Ziggler, you have Rowan, and you have Ryback. You have 6 altogether out of these 5. You have 6 out of the 10 that are the future of this business, the future of the WWE, that could carry the WWE for years to come. So now the obvious question is, where does WWE go? I mean, first of all, you get the announcement if Authority loses, they're done. But now you get the announcement if Team Cena loses, they're fired. So what direction do you go in? And how does this build towards WrestleMania? Because you got to know that this stipulation not only brings intrigue for anybody that's interested, and might still feel that, hey, the WWE may surprise you. I mean, look what they did on Raw with Eric Rowan. The thing is, WWE, they may surprise you, but they may go the predictable route. Now, then again, there is the wild card factor. That wild card factor is Randy Orton. Now, some assume Randy's not going to be there, even though it's in his hometown. Don't never say never. Don't ever say never, never say never, because you don't know who it could be. Now, the question would be, if Randy shows up, what happens? Pretty much a lot of people assume he's going to RKO the Authority out of control, and that might just legitimately happen. But then on the other hand, you may have him, as one person predicted in the comments on Facebook, you may have him just RKO both competitors if it's down to one-on-one, and end the match in a double disqualification. In other words, there'd be no firings and the Authority would still be in power. It'd be like a win-win situation. But again, it's all up to what the WWE decides to do. But let me know what your guys' take on it is. Let me know what you guys think of the sudden announcement by Triple H last night at Smackdown tapings of the WWE deciding to add the stipulation that if Cena's team loses, they're fired, versus the stipulation that if Authority loses, they're out of power. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like, because whether it makes the match predictable or it doesn't, I want to know what your thoughts are on this entire situation. God bless. Take care.